Morning. It's Coach Jeff. Thursday, March 26, 2020, 7 in the morning. I've done my readings. I've reached out to a couple people and connected and went to bed pretty much struggling. One of my friends is a nurse, and he was telling me, basically, young people are dying, and this is a really bad dream. And that's the response I got. And this morning I get up and I'm reading a couple people's posts, and a husband and wife who are wonderful, wonderful people in the CrossFit community, and they're they were telling their story about having a fever, coming back, not feeling well. Then all of a sudden his wife gets it, and then it's same thing, and then they have kids, and I was listening to some motivation stuff, and they were talking about being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and changing our comfort zone. I think the best opportunity is being presented to us as a world to not have a comfort zone, to not take things for granted like breathing or being able to spend time with family members. My folks are in Florida, and I think about them every day. And I think about something as simple as they live directly next door to me. And if anybody has in-laws, for my wife, that's not always the easiest thing. But, I think about something my dad said just before they left this past year. And, I said, oh, you're going to, something like, you're going to go to bed. You're not going to see me. And he just turned right around and quipped, said, I've been living here for a long time. And that's what happens, our comfort zone. And I took them for granted. I took the opportunities for granted. I didn't make the best use of my time. I got comfortable. They'll always be there. They're right next door. And it is. That's what this time is teaching us, I think, as a world. And it is love now. Love hard, love holy. I had a conversation with my daughter yesterday about she's going through just growing up, being 11, and, not feeling good about herself and not liking the way she thinks and this and that, and just being powerless to make her feel better. So one of the things I learned from years ago was just to be there. It's uncomfortable as a dad to not have answers for your kids. It's uncomfortable to not be able to fix something. But, I said, hey, can I just sit with you till you feel better? And that was good. I FaceTimed my folks yesterday, hung out with them and talked to them a little bit, and I think I just really want to encourage, motivate, inspire, whatever term you want to use. I just want to really, really have you think, take stock of what's really important. That's what you focus on. I said it, what we focus on grows. If I focus on my fear, all the situations that have to do with my fear are going to grow. I always consider myself a human unicorn, and I've always been sensitive. And as a kid, I really didn't like that I was sensitive. I'm not so comfortable crying and then sending this out into the world so anybody can see it, but that's me. And especially now. It is what it is. I don't care. I don't mind. I I'm just gonna love. I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna tell people that I care about them. I'm going to not let fear of what, I love what ET says. I'm worried about people who I never meet, who I probably wouldn't like anyway, what they think of me. And that's the power we do. And one of the things my wife was telling my daughter yesterday is, she gives other people power, because somebody texted her in all caps that they were upset. Didn't say they were upset, didn't share feelings, just had an attitude because it was in all caps. And that's reality. That's what we're living in. That's why you can have haters. That's why you can have critics and people who don't necessarily create, but what they create is drama, or what they spread is they want to bring somebody else down so they feel better. I think a big part of what's going on in the world, it's opening everybody's eyes. We're all connected. Um, we're global, and think globally, act locally. I love that. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing these videos. And I let my son sleep in. This is our mornings that we get up early and work out, just him and I value that. And so, a lot of times I think fear fear is not the or courage is not the absence of fear. It's one of my favorite sayings. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to act while afraid. And fear is just uncomfortability, not knowing the outcome. We obviously, this has taught us, we don't know the outcome of anything. Um, we're not promised anything. If we're like Gary Vaynerchuk likes to say, 1 in 400 million to one shot or whatever, that we're alive. So we're alive right now. What are we gonna do? Um, I know for a long time I felt pulled to do stuff, and pulled to do these things, and pulled to reach out to people, and pulled to try to help people in their lives. But if I wasn't very comfortable, I was just like, I won't really do that. And then I did leadership training for years. I worked with from doctors to teachers to military to little kids. And usually kids are the best ones to work with, because they might get a little embarrassed, but then they're like, we'll try, you know. Um, but at the same time, I don't want to be all gloom and doom, because I'm reading about, Dyson, the people who makes vacuums, and awesome vacuums, by the way. My wife's English, and Dyson, I believe, is in England, but they already had stopped. They started creating ventilators when they realized they needed ventilators in less than 3 months. Like, this time in the world is amazing, but if you can do something, I encourage you with everything in my heart, do it. If you feel, don't let fear stop change. Don't let fear stop the next creativity, the next helpful, the next positive thought, the next text. You might not want to text somebody because, what are they going to think of me if I just send them hey, I was thinking of you. Do it. You don't know. My friend who's a nurse, that's one of the things, is he popped in my head and in my heart, and so I reached out to him, and that's kind of how I've been doing things a lot for a long time now, is if people pop in my head or my heart, and I reach out, and just, whether they respond or anything, that's not up to me. That's a God thing. That's, life. For me, it was the opportunity. And sometimes it's uncomfortable because I don't necessarily know what I'm going to say. Doing these videos is uncomfortable for me. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm not like E.T., the hip hop preacher, who comes in and is like, bam, bam, and I've got a doctorate, and I've got 30 years experience. But I've got almost 30 years experience of being a recovering alcoholic and addict. I have 46 years of life experience. I have almost 16 years of married experience. I have 13 and a half years of being a father experience. I have, you know, I have tons of experience. Everybody does. It doesn't matter where you're from, what you're doing. You could be from a house with 5 kids and no running water to, you know, a 5-car garage. It doesn't matter. Everybody has experience, and um, everybody has courage. They really do. Everybody has courage. I'm very grateful that my courage comes from a solid foundation, comes from God, and you know, biggest thing I can ask and biggest heartfelt request is be courageous. Act while afraid. It's okay. Feel the fear, do it anyway. And, you know, be comfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. This change can be good. Everything it grows or it dies. Um, and so I hope you have an amazing, amazing Thursday. Take advantage of what you have when you get it. So if nobody tells you to, I do. I care about you. I care. Even if I haven't met you, I care. So that's what I want you to look for in the world and be that for somebody else.